With an annual tax take of 1.7 trillion, there should be enough money for defence. Yet the government in this country, the Tory party, is cutting defence by over 25%. They're scrapping the new carriers that Labour built. And they are even talking about getting rid of the nuclear deterrent, the liberal element of this government. Also, there is talk about harmonising the nuclear weapons program in between France and Britain, but it's not a European-wide system because, of course, Germany is not a nuclear power, nor is Italy, and nor is Spain. But let's talk about whether I agree with these things or not. Well, I'm definitely against the defence cuts. It's absolutely horrendous. They're going to spend £3 billion scrapping a aircraft carrier, which costs £3 billion to build. This is absolutely insane. It's going to put thousands of people out on their ear, basically, without any jobs. And they might lose their houses. There might be cases of suicide because of this thing. And not only that, it's going to deny air support to our fucking troops, right? This is the most twattish thing that they have ever done. Basically, I think I nearly shouted at the TV. I was so angry. They cannot get rid of the main asset that a maritime power like Great Britain has, and that is its carrier force. We've only just got the bleeding carriers laid down, and the keels laid down, and they're being outfitted. They're nearly ready. It's absolutely insane to get rid of a 70,000 ton carrier. On the other hand, they're saying that they're spending more on interest repayments to banks that the government owns. How can this possibly be? How can they be spending money on interest to banks that they're lending from, which we own? It's absolutely insane. The Federal Reserve caused this crisis by creating too much money and exporting that money through inflation into the oil markets and housing markets of other countries. This is economic war by the Federal Reserve, not only on Europe and Great Britain, but on the United States itself. They're traitors. They have to be stopped, and they have to be reformed or a starting over again of a new Federal Reserve system. By creating all this money, over £18.3 trillion in debt, into the international system, and America is over 155% in debt, as I've said many times in my videos. That's unsubstantiated debt. Even if they raised their tax take to over 100%, they could not pay off the debt. That's what I mean by unsupported debt. All this money is being washed through the Islamic banking system and it is being used by the Binladens to create an unlimited supply of money to Al Qaeda and the Taliban in Afghanistan. These are the people who are trying to kill us, right? They have to be stopped, alright? I've said many times the way to do this. But will there be a new agenda on nuclear weapons? I personally would like a European-wide nuclear deterrent. So there, I'm unfortunately saying I do actually support the idea of mixing the costs between France and Britain on the Trident. But then again, some part of me just doesn't trust France. You almost need to have an independent nuclear deterrent. But the argument against an independent nuclear deterrent is because it's not independent. We have to ask NATO and the Americans before we can use it. So it's not independent. It's already not independent. So we might as well have a European-wide nuclear deterrent against the larger powers, the less large powers, such as India, Pakistan and China. And if Pakistan's nuclear weapons, by the way, are in no way Pakistan's, they are the Bin Ladens. Binladens had methods and ways to get hold of those nukes if they wanted to use them. They have not even begun to fight us. They've lost over 52,000 people, yet they have hundreds of thousands more operatives and trillions of pounds. We will be fighting this war for decades to come, and for the government to cut the defence budget by 25% is treason in my view. It's absolute treason. It's a crime, and they should be slung out of office as quickly as possible. We need to get rid of this lot. Thank you for listening. Peace. And I'll make another video when I'm a bit more calm.